Yowzas. It's a lot of red kicking in this joint. I know. You're probably wondering why the hell am I wearing red? But anyways. So you're probably wondering why the heck am I wearing a coat in my studio? Well, there's a lot of people that are wondering what's going on in this real estate market. Is it good? Is it bad? Why are we seeing bidding wars again? Why are some homes sitting on the market? It's all about confusion. What's up, everybody? My name is Rene and I run a real estate team in the Oakville, Burlington region. Today, we're going to talk about lots of real estate. Before we do this, though, if you like our video, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to see more of this content, don't forget to subscribe. And if there's any questions in here that we don't answer, by all means, click the link in the description. Leave some feedback, ask us questions. We'd love to book a one-to-one and talk about everything and anything real estate. So here we go. Yeah, my coat. It's keeping me warm. More importantly, it doesn't make sense. The real estate market, we looked at March and we were pretty surprised with some of the numbers that we were seeing. We were very confused with some of the numbers that we were seeing. This market is changing on a daily, weekly basis. We got numbers here we're gonna go over. But yeah, some neighborhoods are selling very quickly. I've been involved in a few deals lately where we put an offer first day on the market. We thought we were good. All of a sudden, that second sneaky offer rolls in, and there you go. Makes things a little complicated. So we're going to get into the numbers, though, and we'll talk about some of my final thoughts near the end and some tips. But in Oakville, the average detached home right now is around 1.9 million. It's actually down 4% from the last year. The townhouse market, we've seen that it's actually down 14% versus last year. Now we're talking year over year. When we talk about a rolling average over the last 12 months, these numbers will change and you'll see why. The condo market, if we compare March to March of last year, it's down about 4%, which is about 640,000. Burlington, yes, it did awesome. So if we're comparing this March versus last year, the detached market climbed nicely. We are up 7%, which is almost about 1.5 million. The townhouse market is up 3%, which brings it up to around 860. And the condo market is up 9%, which is around 626,000. So this is just month to month. We always like to explain that you can't just focus this March versus last March because things happen, right? We like to talk about rolling averages. And if you look at things on a 12-month basis, it all makes more sense. So to put it in perspective, Oakville is still up roughly average over the last 12 months. If I was to combine all of these types of homes, it's up about 3%, which is great. Burlington, it's up around 1%. That doesn't sound great. Last year around this time, we were talking about the market being down 15, 20%. So being up around 1%, not bad at all. Let's talk about new listings. We noticed a lot of new listings in Oakville. We noticed that in Oakville, there was about 286 homes that came on the market in March. And in Burlington, there was about 334, which is just 1% higher than last year. Inventory overall is awesome. It's actually incredible. Like when we look at the inventory in March in Oakville, we seen about 383 homes on the market. Compared that to last March, we're actually up 32%. And similar in Burlington, we've seen about 473 homes, which is about 34% higher. So this is good news. It's awesome if you're a buyer. I know I was saying earlier about this confusion and trickiness. Even with high inventory, this is really weird. Like we're still seeing in some pockets homes sell pretty quickly. It's very tricky. You gotta really look at the type of home, the location. Is it finished nicely? Is it priced fair? All these factors are definitely influencing the sales. Sales, I mean, if we do look at Oakville, sales are down 70% versus last March. Now, Burlington is down about 5% versus last March. But when we start looking and diving in terms of days on market, we're actually doing pretty decent. In Oakville, you're about 23 days on market. Burlington, you're about 20 days. Now, in some cases, we're seeing homes selling 1 day, 2 days, 5 days. And then there's others that are sitting like 60 days, 90 days. So again, lots of confusion going on here. If we look at the months of inventory, so always tying that in, this is pretty healthy. Like in terms of the inventory, we have about 2.6 months of inventory in Oakville. And in Burlington, pretty similar, 2.4 months of inventory. And that's healthy. We like to be around 3 months of inventory, so that's a pretty good number. Back in the crazy days when the market was peaking, we were actually at around 0.5 or 0.7 days or months of inventory. So we are trending in the right direction with inventory. In terms of these bidding wars that we're seeing, we are seeing in some pockets more often that if a home is priced very fair and it is beautifully kept, well maintained, or updated for that matter, we're seeing at times natural organic bidding wars, which sometimes agents aren't even trying to create the bidding war, which is kind of interesting. It's just price fair, it shows really well, and maybe in that immediate pocket there isn't a lot of inventory. So there's organic bidding wars that are happening, you just got to be aware of that. But there's also bidding wars that are very frustrating. And listen, if you're an agent watching this and you're just pricing 100, 200,000 below in hopes of getting even more, I mean, it's a pretty ridiculous strategy in my opinion. We're seeing it in some areas where you don't even need to do that. And then what happens is you may not get the number that you want. Another frustrating strategy that we've seen a lot over the last 6 months is agents are pricing really high, like really high just to get the listing. And then a few weeks later, it's like, hey, Mr. Client, let's drop it 200K. Oh, 3 weeks later, another 200K. It's crazy. We are seeing a lot of that. When you're working with an agent who can specialize in the numbers and can crunch everything for you, you got to ask them, like, is that fair? Is that market value? Like, where is it? It's all about pricing fair. And like I said earlier, you're going to see some organic bidding wars, which is awesome. Everybody wins in that situation. All right. So in terms of the last 3 years, this is interesting. I bring it up every month, and I've been tracking it very, very carefully here. So if you live in Oakville, over the last 3 years, and we know what happened in 2022 and 2021 where the prices were really high. We've seen the market appreciate 4.5% to 6.5%, which is still pretty good. I've always said if you're around that 5 to 7 range, that's normal, that's pretty healthy. In Burlington, we've seen about close to 6 to 7% per year if you've owned a home over the last 3 years. So once again, that's healthy, it's great. I think if we ever get below that 4% or 3%, it's just something to really keep an eye on. But this is very nice. And I feel that anybody who did buy in the peak of the market and you still haven't seen gains within the next year, year and a half, you should start to see some gains, and you should get into that green mode, as I call it. So that's the market in a nutshell. Some of my final thoughts, I mean, I say this a lot about listing properties, is market value is market value. And whether you priced it 200,000-300,000 over, or you priced it 200,000-300,000 below, if you're a buyer and you're being educated in the right direction, fair market value is where homes should be landing right now. If we get to the point where inventory is extremely, extremely low, that is going to be a recipe for a disaster in terms of market value. But right now, buyers still have a great opportunity to get in there and get market value for homes. The rates haven't dropped yet, and I fear that when they do start dropping, we're going to get a lot of agents out there making things worse. And I feel that they're going to take advantage of that. I feel the minute that inventory starts to go down, they're going to really play with that, which is just not how we should do things. So agents out there, please let's just price fair. Let's make it a win-win for everybody. But that's how we do it here at Team Rene. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you liked it, please don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of this content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if there's something that we missed, or maybe we're not meeting eye to eye here and you want to challenge us, hey, put some comments in the description. We'd love to chat everything and anything real estate. We live here, so should you. I'm done. It's all this red. Red has brought this out. So hope you enjoyed this video. Ash, make it happen.